house. I'm happy that my siblings want to spend more time with Brian, get to know him better. Hopefully they'll come around to the idea of me being with somebody that's good for me.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How many?
4.
I'm not sure if it's a good idea to go to a haunted house with Brian. Because the last time him and Amy took a trip, well, Campbell tried to bite the crown.
Tonight on TLC, their fan-favorite series 1,000 Pound Sisters airs with an all-new Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, Season 8, Episode 5, and we have your 1,000 Pound Sisters recap below. On tonight's 1,000 Pound Sisters Season 8, Episode 5, called Idle Hands Are Devils, as per the TLC synopsis, after peace talks between Tammy and Amy go south, the sisters are more divided than ever. Amy and Brian try premarital counseling. Billy attempts to work on a ceasefire between the sisters, but Tammy spirals out of control. So make sure to bookmark this spot and come back from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time for our 1,000 Pound Sisters recap. While you wait for the recap, make sure to check out all our television news, spoilers, recaps and more, right here. Tonight's 1,000 Pound Sisters recap begins now. Refresh the page often to get the most current updates. In tonight's 1,000 Pound Sisters, Amy and Tammy haven't talked. They tried to talk when Tammy stormed out. It was in typical Tammy fashion. She didn't want to apologize because she would have if she wanted to. She chose to play the victim in the hope that Amy will cool off, and that wasn't happening this time. Amy was focusing on her wedding. She picked out the dream dress. She now wants to lose some weight before her big day. She heard about bungee fitness and she talked Brittany and Misty into trying it with her. None of them knew anything about bungee fitness. They walked in and they saw all the bungees connected to the ceiling and they had questions. They wanted to know what was securing the bungees. It was glued to the ceiling. Amy made a joke about it better be Gorilla Glue. She did not like the class. She fell once and it was enough for her. Amy gave up on it for losing weight. It was just too complicated for her. Her wanting distance from Tammy wasn't so bad either because Tammy's emotions were all over the place. Tammy went to a vitamin store with Amanda. Amanda was recently diagnosed with POTS. She described it as an autoimmune disease and it was taking out all of her energy. There was no cure for it. There was merely treatments until it goes into remission. Amanda was essentially told she had to ride it out, and so she wanted to be as healthy as possible in every form. She took Tammy with her because she wanted to know what happened between her and Amy. The first words out of Tammy's mouth was Pittsburgh. Tammy still hasn't forgotten or forgiven what happened in Pittsburgh. She said Amy abandoned her when she needed her the most. One of the reasons Tammy was so upset with her sister was because Amy blew everything out of proportion with one fart and then she claimed to have PTSD from what happened. It irritated Tammy to no end. Tammy's emotions were all over the place because she began to cry about Pittsburgh until Amanda tried to play peacemaker. That was when Tammy got upset with her and she claimed she was getting overwhelmed. Both Tammy and Amy need therapy. They have such baggage they've been carrying around since childhood that they needed therapy to release the anger. The sadness. The feelings of being a burden. They both have it, and so talking it out with a professional would help. Billy was a great advisor. He helped Amy seize dynamics she never truly acknowledged before. She practically raised Tammy. Their mother wasn't really in the picture, so it had been up to Amy to take care of her sister, and she became a mother figure to her. It hadn't been fair to Amy. There's probably a part of her that wants to lash out at Tammy because of it. Only she needed to remember that Tammy was also used to that dynamic. She knew the one person in her life that could depend on was Amy, and then Amy took that love away. Billy pointed out how much both of them are hurting. He also talked to Brian. He saw good things from Brian. He agreed to officiate their wedding because he knew how much Brian loves Amy and wants to keep her safe. Billy tried to do something about Tammy. Andrea tried to do something about Tammy. Tammy was just going through things. Andrea spoke with Chris. Chris has heard that Tammy took issue with Brittany and he warned everybody that she better not come for his wife or else. The other thing he took issue with was the fact that Tammy didn't want them to meet Andrea. Tammy has been telling everyone that Andrea was shy. It turns out Andrea couldn't wait to meet them. Andrea didn't have family. She always wanted siblings, so she thought it was cool that Tammy had so many of them. Andrea knew there was a shift after Pittsburgh. Something went wrong with Tammy's emotions. Chris thought she needed therapy and he discussed it with Andrea. Andrea was hoping to try and make her happy, though that wasn't a burden she could take on by herself. Nor should she be responsible for regulating Tammy. Tammy has to do the work. She began feeling overwhelmed again when she talking to Billy. He was suggesting something for her to wear to Amy's wedding. And Tammy snapped. Tammy was losing it while Amy was considering an artistic career. She fell into art after her divorce. She now uses it as an outlet whenever she's struggling, and technically art was considered a therapy. Maybe it could help her long term. Billy could see that Tammy wasn't acting like herself after one conversation, so she could try art too. 1,000-pound Sisters star Amanda Halterman reveals the diagnosis that took months to uncover. After months of unexplained symptoms, she has an answer. Fans of 1,000-pound Sisters are getting a more vulnerable look at Amanda Halterman this season. In Season 8, Episode 5, Halterman, 45, opens up about a health struggle that took months to identify, sharing both her frustration and relief at finally getting answers. Her candid conversation sheds light on a condition many viewers may not be familiar with and explains the lifestyle changes she's now navigating as part of her ongoing health journey. Halterman and Tammy Slaton visit a nutrition store in Idle Hands are a Devil's B.H. It's there she reveals her health diagnosis to the clerk. "I was recently diagnosed with POTS," Halterman says. "I've made lifestyle changes, but I need to do better. After 4 months, I finally got diagnosed with POTS, and we ain't talking about the marijuana," she tells producers. Halterman goes on to explain what POTS is: postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. In her words, the 1,000-pound Sisters star describes the condition as when you stand up, your heart rate goes high and you just pass out, and her blood pressure is unstable. "It's very common with bariatric patients," she added. Halterman had bariatric surgery in 2023, as documented on the TLC series. Dizziness, fainting, anxiety, chest pain, headaches, and bloating are a few of the other symptoms people with POTS might experience, according to the Cleveland Clinic. Halterman was outspoken on social media about experiencing many of these symptoms before being diagnosed with POTS. "Y'all, I finally got some dang answers," Halterman wrote in an Instagram post on April 8, 2025. She was told to lose weight, but nothing helped. "My body don't work like everybody else's. It's stubborn, it's complicated, it's me," Halterman added, thanking the hospital staff for hearing her and helping her through her eventual diagnosis. As Halterman explained to producers, POTS isn't something that can be cured, but something that goes into remission. "You cannot have flare-ups for years, kind of like any other autoimmune issue," she said. In 1,000-pound Sisters Season 8 Episode 5, Halterman joins her sister to find the supplements that'll keep her nourished and her POTS in remission. Amy Slaton, best known from TLC's reality series 1,000-pound Sisters, has recently opened up about an unexpected and deeply personal struggle following her remarkable 200-pound weight loss. While many people assume that such a transformation automatically leads to confidence and comfort, Amy's experience tells a much more complex story. According to Amy, losing weight did not instantly fix how she feels inside her own body. In fact, she says that in some ways, her body bothers her more now than it ever did before. This honest confession has sparked widespread conversation among fans and health experts alike. When Amy first appeared on 1,000-pound Sisters, she was facing severe obesity, limited mobility, and serious medical risks. Everyday activities were difficult, and her quality of life was heavily impacted. Despite these challenges, Amy remained hopeful. One of her biggest motivations was her dream of becoming a mother and being able to actively care for her children. After undergoing bariatric surgery and committing to major lifestyle changes, Amy achieved a life-changing milestone. She lost approximately 200 pounds, dramatically improving her mobility and overall health. Tasks that once felt impossible, walking longer distances, playing with her kids, and managing daily responsibilities, became achievable. However, Amy says the physical transformation came with emotional and physical side effects that she did not fully anticipate. One of the most significant issues Amy struggles with today is excess skin. After losing a large amount of weight, the skin does not always tighten naturally. Amy explained that the loose skin can be uncomfortable, painful at times, and emotionally distressing. It affects how clothes fit and how she feels when she looks at herself. She admitted that despite being proud of her progress, mirrors are still difficult. Instead of seeing only success, she often sees reminders of her past and the long journey her body endured. This creates mixed emotions, gratitude, frustration, pride, and insecurity all at once. Amy also revealed that her body feels more sensitive now. Changes in muscle distribution, posture, and balance have made her more aware of aches and discomfort. Some pains are new, and adjusting to them has been challenging. For someone who worked so hard to improve her health, experiencing new discomfort can feel discouraging. Beyond the physical aspects, Amy emphasized the mental and emotional toll of massive weight loss. She explained that while her body changed quickly, her mind needed more time to catch up. Years of negative self-image and emotional habits don't disappear just because the scale shows a lower number. Amy has been open about struggling with anxiety and emotional eating in the past. She says that weight loss doesn't erase those struggles overnight. Instead, it often brings them into sharper focus. Without food as a coping mechanism, emotions can feel more intense and harder to manage. Another challenge Amy mentioned is expectations, from herself and from others. After such a visible transformation, people often assume she should feel confident and happy all the time. Amy admitted that this pressure sometimes makes her feel guilty for still struggling. She explained that there is an unspoken belief that weight loss is the final solution. But in reality, it is just one step in a much longer healing process. Learning to accept a changed body takes time, patience, and emotional support. Despite these struggles, Amy made it clear that she does not regret her weight loss journey. She emphasized that her improved health allows her to be more present for her children, which remains her greatest motivation. Being able to move more freely and participate in their lives is something she values deeply. Fans of 1,000 Pounds Sisters have responded strongly to Amy's honesty. Many viewers praised her for talking about the less glamorous side of weight loss. Others shared their own experiences, saying they felt seen and understood for the first time. Health professionals often point out that Amy's experience is common among people who lose a significant amount of weight. Excess skin, body dysmorphia, and emotional adjustment are well documented but rarely discussed openly in mainstream media. Amy's story highlights the importance of mental health support after major physical transformations. Therapy, support groups, and realistic expectations can make a significant difference in how people adjust to their new bodies. As 1,000 Pounds Sisters continues to show real, unfiltered life changes, Amy Slaton's confession adds depth and realism to the narrative. Her experience challenges the idea that weight loss alone equals happiness. By sharing why her body bothers her more after losing 200 pounds, Amy is helping to reshape the conversation around transformation. Her message is clear: healing is not linear, confidence takes time, and progress is about much more than numbers on a scale. This week's episode of 1,000 Pounds Sisters delivers one of the most emotionally intense moments the show has seen in recent seasons, as Tammy Slaton appears to spiral out of control, alarming both her family and viewers at home. The episode captures a raw and unsettling side of Tammy's ongoing struggle, one that goes beyond weight loss and into deeper emotional and psychological territory. While fans of the show are no strangers to conflict, frustration, and setbacks, this particular episode stands out for its intensity and emotional weight. Tammy Slaton has long been one of the most complex figures on 1,000 Pounds of Sisters. From the beginning, her journey has been marked by resistance, emotional outbursts, and moments of vulnerability. This week's episode brings all of those elements together in a way that feels both alarming and deeply human. As the episode unfolds, viewers quickly sense that Tammy is not in a stable emotional state. Tension builds through conversations, body language, and reactions that suggest she is overwhelmed, frustrated, and emotionally exhausted. What starts as minor disagreement soon escalates into something far more concerning. Family members, particularly those closest to Tammy, appear visibly worried. Their expressions and tone reflect a growing fear that Tammy may be regressing, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. Throughout the episode, Tammy displays signs of emotional overload. She becomes defensive, dismissive, and increasingly resistant to advice or support. Attempts by family members to reason with her are met with anger or shutdown, creating an atmosphere of helplessness. For longtime viewers, these moments feel familiar. Tammy has often struggled with accountability and emotional regulation. However, what makes this episode different is the intensity of her reaction and the sense that she is losing control rather than simply avoiding responsibility. One of the most striking aspects of the episode is how isolated Tammy appears. Even when surrounded by family, she seems emotionally disconnected. Her frustration appears to stem not just from external pressure, but from internal conflict, expectations she feels unable or unwilling to meet. This emotional spiral raises serious concerns about Tammy's overall well-being. While weight loss has always been the central focus of the show, moments like these remind viewers that obesity is often linked to deep psychological struggles. Food addiction, emotional trauma, and mental health challenges are all intertwined in Tammy's journey. Family members attempt multiple approaches during the episode, some offering tough love, others showing patience and compassion. Unfortunately, none seem to break through Tammy's emotional wall. Instead, her reactions grow more intense, reinforcing the sense that she feels cornered and misunderstood. Amy Slaton, Tammy's sister, appears particularly affected by the situation. Amy has repeatedly expressed fear of losing Tammy, not just emotionally, but physically. Watching her sister spiral triggers visible distress, highlighting the emotional toll Tammy's behavior takes on the entire family. Amy's concern reflects a recurring theme on 1,000 Pounds Sisters, the weight of responsibility placed on loved ones. Supporting someone through extreme health and emotional challenges can be exhausting, especially when progress is inconsistent or reversed. As the episode progresses, Tammy's behavior begins to feel unpredictable. Her tone shifts rapidly, and moments of silence are followed by sudden emotional outbursts. These swings suggest a deeper internal struggle that goes beyond the surface conflict shown on screen. Fans watching at home quickly took to social media, expressing alarm and concern. Many viewers described the episode as hard to watch, noting that Tammy appeared emotionally overwhelmed rather than simply stubborn or defiant. Some fans voiced frustration, feeling that Tammy refuses help despite having access to resources others might never receive. Others, however, expressed sympathy, pointing out that emotional healing is rarely linear and often comes with setbacks. Health professionals frequently emphasize that individuals undergoing extreme lifestyle changes often face emotional crises. Losing control, whether through anger, withdrawal, or self-sabotage, can be a response to fear, pressure, or unresolved trauma. This episode seems to capture Tammy at one of those breaking points. Another significant factor highlighted in the episode is control. Tammy appears to struggle deeply with the feeling that decisions are being made for her. Resistance becomes a way to assert independence, even if that resistance harms her progress. Unfortunately, this need for control often clashes with medical advice and family intervention, creating a cycle of conflict. The more pressure Tammy feels, the more she pushes back, sometimes to her own detriment. As cameras continue rolling, the question becomes unavoidable: how much more can Tammy endure without serious consequences? The show has documented medical emergencies and near-fatal moments before, making this emotional spiral particularly concerning. Viewers are left wondering whether this behavior signals another health crisis waiting to happen. Despite the tension, the episode also reveals moments of painful honesty. Tammy briefly acknowledges feeling overwhelmed and misunderstood, though she struggles to articulate these emotions clearly. These fleeting moments hint at self-awareness buried beneath layers of defense. For many fans, this episode serves as a reminder that recovery is not just about physical transformation. Mental health, emotional support, and personal readiness play critical roles in long-term success. 1,000 Pounds Sisters has always walked a fine line between entertainment and reality. Episodes like this push that boundary further, forcing viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about addiction, family dynamics, and emotional pain. As the episode ends, there is no clear resolution. Tammy's spiral remains unresolved, leaving viewers anxious about what lies ahead. Will she accept help? Will she continue to push everyone away? Or will this moment become a turning point? What is clear is that Tammy Slaton's journey is far from over. This week's episode does not offer easy answers, but it does offer honesty. It shows what happens when pressure, fear, and unresolved trauma collide, and how quickly things can spiral when emotional support breaks down. As 1,000 Pounds Sisters continues, viewers are left hoping that Tammy finds stability, support, and the strength to regain control, not just of her health, but of her emotional well-being.